Hey guys, this is Coach Caitlin. Today we're going to go through a 3-part series to unlock your hips. We're going to start needing a wall space and some space on the floor, possibly some pillows for your knees, but otherwise you're not going to need anything else. First drill here today, we're going to take our right side of our body from our fingertips all the way down to our toes and lay it completely against a wall. Then we're going to take our foot of the leg that's not at the wall and cross it over in front. And as we're there, we're going to do our best to have one hip, the one that's not on the wall, be higher up than the hip that is on the wall. So what you're going to do to ensure that is you're going to take your elbow and your hand as if you're holding up a tray, and you're going to push that hip up into the elbow to really wind up this tissue right here. And we're just going to hold that for 5 seconds. Breathing as normally as you can. And then you're going to release and go to the other side. Again, you can go ahead and put your arm at an angle that's most comfortable for you, but we want to lay our whole side against here. We're going to lift our hip up into an elbow that's supporting a tray, and we're going to push the hip that's on the outside of the wall up and the hip that's at the wall down. All right, we're going to go one more time on each side. Push that hip up. And last one. Push the hip up. All right, so now that we got the hips moving side to side pretty good, we're going to work on opening them up a little bit. So we're going to head to the floor. If you have tender knees, you can grab something padded underneath. I'm just going to be on the floor here. And all we want to do is open up our knees as if we were a frog, and we're going to put our forearms on the ground. And from this position, if you have a wall behind you, that's great too. We're simply going to push our spine from our elbows up through our shoulder blades. And without slouching, we're going to elbow crawl back into what would look like a squat here. And as we do that, we're still wedging our spine up through our elbows, and we're doing our best to keep our butt high so it doesn't do this. So we're going to go ahead and wedge up, lift the butt, walk it back, and we're going to hold that for 8 seconds. Should be feeling a good stretch high in your groin area. Relax. Rock forward to release the tension. If you can get a little wider, go ahead. Same thing, wedge it up, walk it back with the elbows. Breathing. Release. And one more time, walking it back. All right, and release. So hopefully you're feeling some blood, feeling some things moving around here good. The next one in the first part of our stretches today is going to be a flying frog. So we're going to go ahead and lay facing down on the ground. Just like the first stretch we did sideways, we're going to take our elbow and put it onto the hip, and we're going to bring that leg up to the frog position like the stretch we just did as well. From here, we're going to roll onto our belly so it looks like we're flying through the air. We're going to take our long arm and we're going to push into the floor and press our long leg glute and hip forward into the floor. So we're basically creating pressure from our pinky all the way down through our hip and down to our foot. We're also keeping this hip that's under the elbow higher than the hip on this arm. So we're going to go ahead and hold on to that position for 5 seconds where we're just pushing down into the floor, getting really long, pushing our hip open by pushing our glute forward, and really holding this tray up. All right, relax. I'm going to switch sides. Get this hip under the elbow high, and then turn the long arm into a hammer. Push down and press this glute forward, opening up this hip. All right, we're gonna do one more on each side. Set the high hip and the elbow together. Turn the long arm into a hammer and press. And last one on the other side. Press the elbow hip high, lengthen this long side, make a hammer, and press down into the floor. Still breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth preferably. And relax. Okay, now that we got some stretches out of the way, we're going to go ahead and actually get used to moving our bones in the joint a little bit. So we're going to have you sit in a 90-90 position, meaning you're going to look down at your legs in a position looking like mine and make sure that there's 90 degrees, not less than that. Then from there, we're going to take our back leg and put our thumb up with our forearm here. And what we want to do is squeeze our butt so that this bone rolls forward. If you have any pinching or any kind of discomfort in this area, you can come down here to a side plank and do it, or you can even lay all the way sideways and still do this drill. Just do whatever's available for you. So for the first part here, we're going to roll the bone forward, squeezing the glute. Then we're going to take this arm and straddle the front leg, and we're going to push down. You don't have to do this, but you would be able to do this because of the pressure you're creating. We're going to hold that for 5 seconds. Breathing, staying really tall, and then we're going to release. And then we're going to go one more time. Roll that leg forward, press into the floor, staying tall and breathing. Push into the floor as well as rolling it forward. And release. We're going to go ahead and do the other side next. Again, just so that you can get used to moving it, take your thumb and arm, put it on the thigh, roll it forward. Hold it there, straddle the front, push through breathing. You can check yourself here, see if you can get up. Release. And then one more time, we're going to roll it forward, straddle the front leg, push through the floor, and release. Whew. All right, hopefully you're feeling some stuff moving around your hips even more now. The next one, we're going to be laying sideways here. Again, go ahead and get into that initial wall stretch position with the arm and the legs just slightly bent here. We are going to go ahead and have that elbow still on your hip. And I want you to pull your heel as close to your butt as possible. And we're going to imagine our kneecap is a flashlight, and we're going to make a circle as best as we can without moving anywhere. So I want you guys to do just 3 each direction here. Slow, controlled reps where you're feeling all the parts in the back of your hip helping this bone make a really nice circle. You may even have a smaller one to begin with. That's cool. Make sure you go both directions 3 times. All right, and then we're going to hit the other side. All right, stack it up like the first stretch again. Let's get the elbow and the hip high and up together. Close the kneecap. We're making a circle with our flashlight here. 3 really good ones. And you'll probably notice your body temperature is increasing because you're really getting some blood flowing that hasn't been for a while. And then the other way. Really hold your position here. Try not to flop around. All right. Whew. We made it to now our last part of our middle series here. We're going to be on our knees. Again, if you need something under your knees, go ahead and grab a pillow or anything you have handy. From being on our knees on that surface or on the floor, we want to have our knees just slightly wider than our hips. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and squeeze the floor or our pillows under our knees together. And imagining also that we have a belt buckle that we're tipping up. And we're going to keep compressing, staying super tall for 5 seconds here. All right, relax. We're going to do that again, one more time, and you really want to collect together your knees coming up, and you should be feeling some good either shaking or just activation somewhere between the knee and your pelvic area here. We're going to hold that for 5 seconds, tilting the belt buckle up, compressing the floor inside, and then release. Okay, so now that we got some blood flowing and we got things moving pretty well, we're going to go ahead and put it to use and move our bodies a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is simply sit up as tall as possible, and I want you to make a diamond out of your hand and place that right in this, at the top of the triangle of your rib cage here. And then all we're going to do is try to practice like our stretches and other moves we did, picking up our hip, reaching and pulling ourselves forward. So keep your diamond right here, lift up your hip, reach, pull yourself forward, lift up, reach, pull forward, lift up, reach, pull forward. And then we're going to also go back. A lot of you will notice backwards is a lot easier. Work on your forward till it feels as easy as your backwards one. You can start out with just doing one set of maybe 8 forward and 8 backwards there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then the last thing we're going to have you guys do today is we're going to stand up and we're going to work on linking this together. So similar to what we were just doing, scooting our butt, we're going to have that diamond right here, and we're going to go ahead and pick up a hip just like we did on the floor. We're going to get our elbow there to match it. We're then going to pick the foot up, lift the elbow behind, and push through the floor as we sweep our elbow forward and extend our hip. So a few in real time will look like this. Here, here. Again, pull it up, lift, get it back, extend everything together. And what we're doing is practicing a swinging motion, aka linking up our top and lower halves of our body with our newly moving hips. So I want you guys to go ahead and with your diamond here, practice up with the hip, up with the leg, elbow behind, step through and swing. And let's go ahead and just do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake it out, and then the last one on the other side here. Lift up the hip,